Good afternoon there, Wealth Press subscribers. Welcome to another midweek market update, and I'm here as usual with Lance Ippolito. Lance, welcome.
Hello, James. Good to be here.
Okay, Lance, give us the 6x6. What's going on in our markets today?
Oh, there's fear in the markets, brother, for the first time in a
The
long
markets are
time.
trembling, are they?
They are. A random stat, even though I don't have the exact numbers, but if you look back at every Thursday over the past, let's just say 2 months, it feels like every Thursday is a sell-off. And I can actually go, should I go back? I won't do the math here, but every Thursday we've been selling off again and again and again. And it's just been a pattern. It's usually led by tech, which has been very bullish lately. But today we do have big tech reporting earnings after the close. Your names like Facebook, Google, Amazon, what is it, Microsoft? I think what is it? The big four reporting earnings. Let me bring it up right here. Gavin, do you know which ones report? Apple, Facebook, Google, and Amazon. So this could just be a little profit taking ahead of the big earnings, or a dip for those smart investors and traders to buy them ahead of the big moves. We shall see.
But is the what's the consensus? Are the earnings going to be good, middling, hot, not?
Sorry about that. I had the news feed with more coronavirus news. Can you repeat that, James?
I say, so what is the consensus on the quality of the earnings upcoming? Is it generally good, bullish, bearish, hot, not?
From the analysts, which I feel like sometimes they just are shooting fish in a barrel, and other times they're just looking up to the skies above for their knowledge. We have been seeing massive price target raises on names like Apple and Amazon, especially Amazon. I feel like every day the street raises its price target. So it looks like the analysts are looking for pretty phenomenal earnings out of Google and Amazon specifically. Apple last week had 2 downgrades, which I feel like they always do that with Apple ahead of earnings. But if you do look at the names that are correlated with Apple, like the semiconductors, Lam Research, for example, phenomenal earnings, absolute blowout quarter. They just reported yesterday after the close. And from what I was reading this morning, it looks like demand for the iPhone overseas in Asia has been very hot lately. Obviously, these names have ran up so much that there could be profit taking after the reports, like eBay. Phenomenal earnings, huge move off the lows from March, and the stock did sell off slightly after hours. But I think for the most part, you'll have no big surprises in the earnings reports. Like, I don't think you're going to see another Intel to where the stock just gets hammered 15-17% on earnings, and they have horrendous outlook. And the crazy part is too, yesterday you had these tech giants out there in Washington, well, not technically, but Zoom calling in and such. I just don't think you're going to have any crazy volatility. And on the upside, I don't think you're going to have like a Facebook up 20% tomorrow. I think you'll have really light moves. And to me, that will actually be a bullish thing for the markets.
Great. Well, so then what is it that you're liking? What are you trading ahead of these earnings? Are you buying all these stocks?
No. If you're on the wagon, keep riding it. If you're not, I do think you're going to be a little bit late to the party, getting long up here. One thing I am looking at, what I have been doing, is selling premium. So just selling bull put credit spreads. If I think the stock's going to stay at a certain level, or selling bear call spreads if I don't think the stock is going to go up, let's say 10% or so. I did that with eBay. I did that with Tesla, and I'll probably look to do that on some very high implied volatility options and some of the big tech names. Just because I don't think you're going to have 10+% moves to the upside or downside.
Okay, so then what about gold? Are you liking gold here?
Ooh, I like gold. If you asked this question weeks ago, love it. If you ask this question right now, there's too many eyes on it. If you're on the gold train, nothing wrong with that. Stick with it. But if you're thinking of, hey, wow, now I need to shift and put some capital into gold, gold or silver, they had a phenomenal move. Do you really want to get long gold and gold stocks here? I don't know. You have about a 3.5-4% dip. I thought what struck me as odd today, with the market down about 1%, you'd have your gold names strong, which they're not. So you're actually having gold sell off with the market and rotation into bonds. So that's been a little odd. But then when you think about the printing press going on in the Fed, it's hard not to like the metals. It just really depends on your time horizon. And if you really care about your entries, if you do, maybe you can wait a little bit. But if you don't, then it's very hard to ignore gold and silver here. Heck, even copper, palladium, platinum, with money being printed out of thin air.
Basically, everything has no choice but to go up, except this is the thing in gold. Buying gold, that's basically the hallmark of the sector is gold itself. Can you buy gold itself? You can, but you're going to pay a premium to the spot market. So what do you got? You got gold mid-tiers, juniors, and seniors. And so you got that diversity. In the tech sector, it's interesting because it's like a handful of the techs are the beneficiary of 100% of the interest, and
Right.
Everybody else can go scratch their butts. They're just not getting the love, and they're not, it's become extremely laser focused on the biggest names in the tech sector.
Yep.
So is that something that, is going to persist, and therefore the unloved tech names are going to remain unloved? Or is it more representative of an opportunity for the visionary investor to be contrarian, pick up the unloved in anticipation of the fatigue that's got to finally result in the never-ending escalator of the valuations of the truly loved tech stocks?
You bring up a good point, and I was looking at the largest increases in hedge holdings just yesterday, and there was names like Cloudflare, CrowdStrike, Zscalper, a new cybersecurity name, DocuSign, and such like that. So I do think those are kind of the new wave of tech stocks out of your Amazon, Microsoft, Oracle, PayPal, and such. But they've already moved so much to the upside. Do they have room to run still? Probably. But I just feel like everything has been bid so much so quickly that if you look at the unloved tech names, really you're talking old tech, your IBMs and Cisco and Oracles and Intel. They're just, I can't make the rotation into those names. And maybe you call them value names, even though they're tech. But if you look at value stocks, specifically the IVE, which is the iShares Value ETF, it's still below the 200-day moving average. It still looks technically really poor, while you have, let's say, the NASDAQ 100 hitting new highs. So I hate to say you have to go into the boat that's already crowded. But so far that boat's staying afloat. And it's names like Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Google that are holding it up. And when you have money going into the markets, and a lot of these institutions and funds are buying these ETFs that hold those names, or even if you look at the S&P 500 ETF, making up such a large portion of these names, they're they're still chugging up along.
Yeah, interesting. So this, I think this is the longest conversation I've had in 2020 without mentioning the word coronavirus.
Oh
I'm sorry to
no!
just ruin that for you, but
Bang!
it's like, is coronavirus even a factor in the stock market anymore?
No, come on
No.
now. Hey, I have my news feed here, and today, Florida, we had 460,000 cases, record deaths yesterday, sadly, and Italy, most new corona cases since April. Spain, 8 minutes ago, reported most new coronavirus cases since April. So we're looking at Europe getting new cases, which really over the past couple of months have kept at bay and was really doing well with containment. You think the market cares? No headline move in the markets off the headline. I just, to be honest, I don't think cases up down mean anything. Heck, you're even seeing the sports betting stocks, when saying, well, Dallas Cowboys are shutting down season ticket holders, or the Marlin players testing positive. They're not even reacting anymore. As an initial knee-jerk reaction, they don't even care. So it's a we had GDP numbers today. The market sold off on that. But if big tech have good earnings, you're going to see this market gap up tomorrow, and Corona won't even play a picture.
Right. Well, that's in one respect, it's comforting to know that the market will prevail regardless of people dying by the thousands. On the one hand, that's comforting. On the other hand, it makes me look at humanity as a species and think we're really kind of screwed up in that we've just kind of like collectively, it's like, okay, everything's gone to phase 3 opening in Canada, despite the spike in infections and deaths as a result of phase 2 opening. So, but we basically collectively said, well, you're dead. And whoever's not going to die, congratulations, buy some stock.
Yeah. Really quick story, and we could wrap it up. But so last night I went out here in Tampa for a friend's birthday party, went to dinner and such. And it's probably around 11 o'clock, where most of the bars close down by 10. By the way, they can't serve alcohol if you're just a bar anymore over here. So we go to the spot where you can have a couple cocktails and such downtown. There's 3 people there. And the lady friend I'm with, we go to the bar, get a drink, and she goes, "Oh, it's my birthday." So there's a guy next to us who he goes, "Well, it was my birthday too. I just went to Vegas." And there was another gentleman across the bar who says, "It was just my birthday too, and I went to Vegas." And I'm thinking to myself, usually people at the bar late at night aren't going to work early in the morning. I'm a trader, so I work at home and can do it. But I thought to myself, with everyone getting free money and basically spending that money or putting that money somewhere, you do have the crowd who's spending it on travel, Vegas, gambling, and getting it back into the economy somehow, and not going into their savings account, saving it for a rainy day. And it really just hit me. And I was like, you have a lot of people out there who are taking this money, spending it, whether they're buying vehicles, going to Vegas, traveling, or putting it into the stock market, especially these lower price stocks, and hoping to hit it big. And we saw that with Hertz. We saw that just the other day with Kodak, and it's very new. I'm not sure what to think of it exactly.
Well, I think that humanity's just sort of moved past coronavirus and has fatalistically accepted whatever the outcome is going to be. Certainly, there's enough news with Moderna on the front page of the Wall Street Journal every day now, announcing that they're going to let people get vaccinated for $50 to $60. That's interesting. How effective is it going to be? How quickly is this virus mutating? I often get to the point where I'm so fatigued about the coronavirus conversation that it's just like, you know what, let's just change the subject and nobody talk about coronavirus tonight, because it's just tiring. It's just tiring. I mean, I feel like I got to mention it because we got to keep on top of whether it's going to be a factor in our ability to make money in the markets. But at this point, less and less that is the case. And X of that, I don't even want to hear about it anymore.
Yeah, I just don't. The markets are so disconnected with it that it's here. The markets are now looking forward, not economic number wise, or not even coronavirus number wise. They're just saying, well, we're going to put money somewhere and we're going to put it into stocks, and let's keep that the Wall Street happy. And if people want to go to Vegas and spend money, we'll give them enough money where they can do it and be happy and buy them a few cocktails at night. So, hey, here we are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is odd that one of the flaws or great things about the human character is that in the face of adversity, we tend to celebrate even harder.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, in that note, Lance, let's leave it there for this week. We'll talk to you next week. Have a fantastic weekend.
Thanks, James.
You bet. Bye.